Hello everyone, and welcome to True Radiant You. My name is Victoria, and today I have a quick 30-minute yoga flow to help wake up your body, stretch your muscles, and to just get you feeling good, which is what we all want at the end of the day, right? So let's roll out our yoga mats, grab a glass of water if you'd like, and let's get started. So we are going to begin today in one of my all-time favorite poses. It is called Child's Pose or Balasana. So we're gonna put our two big toes together, and your knees can be together or apart. Just do whichever feels best. And we're gonna extend our arms nice and long on the mat in front of us. Now, if this is a little too tight on your hamstrings, you can take some folded blankets and put it underneath your legs to lift your hips up. If not, we're just gonna rest our bottoms on our heels, extend our arms out nice and long in front of us, and we'll rest our forehead on the ground. So go ahead and close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths. Inhaling in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And start to center your thoughts into the present moment. So not thinking about your to-do list for the rest of the day, or thinking about any situations that happened before you got onto your yoga mat. But just bringing attention to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, and letting your body relax, getting a little bit deeper into this pose. All right, and from here, we're going to bring our gaze up. We're going to separate our fingers, spread them out nice and wide, and we're going to rock our shoulders forward, coming into a tabletop position. So from here, just go ahead and move around. This is really great in the morning once you get out of bed, just to warm up all those joints and sockets. So you can rock forward and back, move side to side, just moving however feels good. Remember, no one's watching you, so if it feels like you look weird, it doesn't matter as long as it feels good. All right. So we're going to come back to a neutral position. We want to make sure our knees are a little bit apart. The backs of our feet are going to be relaxed on the mat, and our fingertips are spread out nice and wide. Hands are about shoulder width apart. From here, we're going to go into cat and cow poses. So with an inhale, we're going to drop our belly down towards the ground, tilting our pelvis up, and we're going to bring our chin up towards the sky. And with an exhale, we're going to reverse that. So we're going to tuck the chin in towards our chest. That's a tongue twister. Lifting the shoulders, arching the spine. And just flow in between those two poses, following the pace of your breath. So inhaling, moving into one pose. And exhaling, flowing into the other pose. So inhaling and exhaling. Now, if you want a little extra shoulder stretch when you are in your cat pose, you can come onto your fingertips, really elongating your arms, getting a nice shoulder stretch. All right, and let's come back to neutral. We're going to keep those fingertips spread out nice and wide, giving our body a nice foundation on the ground, nice and sturdy. We're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to start to lift our hips up towards the sky. Now go ahead and keep this pose nice and loose, bending those knees. Let's pedal the feet a couple times. If you want, you can rock forward and back. You can kind of twist side to side. Just moving however feels good. You might hear some joints crack. My toes and ankles often do that right in the morning. So in our downward dog pose, we want to make sure that we are reaching our shoulders towards the back of the mat, and our goal is to reach our heels onto the ground. So your feet might not be flat on the ground right now, and that is totally okay, but just a goal to keep in mind. Again, this is your practice, so move however feels good. You should feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs. Taking those deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. All right, so we're gonna look forward and we're gonna start to walk our feet towards the front of the mat. Once we're up towards the front, we're gonna keep our feet at hips distance apart. Go ahead and place your fists together, put them in between your feet. That'll be hips distance. And keep a nice bend to your knees. And we're just gonna hang out in forward fold for a second. Now there's lots of options for your arms here. You can hold on to opposite elbows and sway side to side. If you want, you can clasp your hands behind your back, and with straight arms, just let your arms fall overhead, getting, again, another nice shoulder stretch. Or perhaps if you sit at a computer all day and you use your hands a lot for typing, you can place your palms up towards the sky, and one at a time, lift each foot up to slide your hand underneath your foot, toes near your wrist. Do it to the other foot and hand, and wiggle your toes to massage your wrist and the palms of your hands. This adds a nice little pressure. So finding whichever variation feels good to you. And if you want a deeper stretch in the back of your legs, go ahead and straighten your legs. If that's a little too intense for you right now, go ahead and bend your knees. In whichever pose you found yourself in, just relax your head and your neck. You can even shake your head side to side, no and yes. All right, so one more deep breath here. All right, go ahead and release your arms from whichever variation you found yourself in. We're going to place our hands on our hips. And with a flat back, moving very slowly, we're going to rise up towards standing. So move very slow to let all the blood flow back down from your head. Right. Now once we're here, go ahead and shake your body out a little bit. We are going to do 2 rounds of Sun Salutation A. This is definitely one of my go-to moves or flows. This is great to do in the morning to build a little bit of heat and to just really get your body rocking and rolling. So we are going to stand at the front of our mat. You can have your feet together. I like to have mine slightly apart. And we're going to inhale, circling our arms up overhead. And if you want, you can tilt your head back a little bit, adding a little back bend. And with an exhale, we're going to hinge at the waist, floating forward. And with an inhale, we're going to lift up halfway, gliding our hands along our shins. Exhaling back down. Inhale, step one foot back. And exhale, step the other foot back. Now you can stay right here in plank pose, or I like to place my knees down and do knees, chest, chin. So keeping your elbows glued towards the side of your body, you're going to slowly lower your chest and your chin down to the mat. And then you're going to push your shoulders up, bringing your hips down. Go ahead and tuck those toes, sending those hips back and up into your downward dog. And since we stepped our right foot back, we're going to float our left foot up towards the sky. It doesn't have to be very high off the ground. And then go ahead and float that left foot forward. You're going to lift your hips and your shoulders to place that left foot in between your hands. Now push off of the right foot, meet it The other one, inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale down. And inhale, rise up towards standing. And exhale, bring those hands to heart center. We'll take a big inhale. And exhale. All right, so now we're just going to do that about 50 more times on each side. I'm just kidding. We're gonna do that about 1 to 2 more times on each side. And after every round, I'm gonna go a little bit faster. Now, after I do these 2 rounds, you're more than welcome to pause the video and do as many as you'd like. And you can even just stop the video right there. Or if you want, you can just continue on with me. So since we started with the right foot, we are gonna start with the left foot on the second time. So go ahead and inhale, circle your arms up overhead. And exhale, float forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, stepping the left foot back. And exhale, stepping the right foot back. Again, you can stay up in plank or lower down, knees, chest, chin. Pushing up to upward dog, lifting those shoulders up, dropping the hips. Tucking the toes, sending your hips back and up into downward dog. Floating up the right foot towards the sky as much as you can go. And then floating that right foot forward, placing it in between your hands. Go ahead and push that left foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, rise up towards standing. And exhale, palms lower in front of your heart. Take a big inhale. And exhale. All right, let's do 1 more time on each side, a little bit faster. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, stepping back the right foot. Exhale, stepping back the left foot. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale, pushing up. And pushing back into downward dog. Now if you want, you can lift the left foot up and float it forward. Or if you want, you can bring your gaze towards your hands, bend your knees, and hop forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale down. And inhale, rise up towards standing. Exhale, arms lower down. Going straight into the next one. Inhale, circle arms up. Add a little back bend. Exhale, float forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale down. And you can float both feet back or step back, up to you. Go ahead and lower down. And pushing up to upward dog. Now while we're here, let's add a little variation. To get a little spinal twist, we're going to reach one shoulder forward and the other one back. And go ahead and switch sides. And then from here, we're going to push back into child's pose. So again, big toes are kissing, knees are together or apart, up to you. And this is a great time to grab a sip of water to catch your breath, or you can just go and lay in child's pose for a second. So once you're in child's pose, if you want a little tricep stretch, you can place your palms together, bending your elbows and resting your hands on the back of your neck. All right, so if your arms are bent, go ahead and extend them back out nice and long on the mat, bringing your gaze up, rocking your shoulders forward, tucking your toes, sending those hips up and back. We are going to float one leg up towards the sky. Let's start with the right foot. Now your foot doesn't have to point all the way up towards the sky. It can just be slightly off the ground. And you just want to make sure that your foot is engaged somehow. So flex your foot or point your toes. It's up to you. And from here, we're going to bend the knee, dropping the heels towards our bottom. We're going to rock our shoulders forward and at the same time, rocking our right foot with it and placing your foot in between your hands. Go ahead and pivot your back toes so they're facing the left side of your mat. And you can use your leg to lift your upper body up, or you can just use your core to rise up. Lots of options. So now we are in our warrior one pose. We want to make sure our arms are close to our ears and palms are facing each other. You want to make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Don't have them up by your ears, just relax them. And you want to make sure that your knee is not too far forward or too far back. Make sure that knee is right above the ankle. So we're going to take an inhale here. And with an exhale, go ahead and open up your arms into warrior two, so arms are parallel to the ground. And inhale, dropping the back arm. Exhale, floating that upper arm back. And go ahead and exhale, floating that forward arm onto the thigh, back arm comes up and over. So one more time in between these four poses. Inhale one, exhale two, inhale reverse, and exhale side angle. Beautiful. And let's come back to warrior one. From here, we're going to straighten our front leg. We're going to exhale, we're going to open our arms up into warrior two. With an inhale, we're going to reach our arm towards the front of our mat. With an exhale, we're going to lower it onto our shin, bringing our back arm up to the sky. So now we are in our triangle pose. And again, play around with each pose. We are all designed with different bodies. My arms are a little bit longer. Yours might be the same length, longer or shorter. So use what you're born with. If your arms are a little bit shorter than mine, maybe put your hand on your thigh, or if you have a block, you can use it to extend your arm. If you feel like it, you can place your hand on the floor. Woo! Might throw off your balance, that's okay. Or you can place it on your shin. Whichever placement you choose, you want to make sure that your body is stacked on top of an imaginary line painted down the middle of your yoga mat. So if your shoulders and hips are out, go ahead and reel everything in towards the center. And so just breathe here for a moment. And if you want a little extra stretch, go ahead and take the arm that's up towards the sky, bending the elbows, reaching behind your back, and holding on to your right thigh. Opening up your shoulders towards the sky, getting a nice spinal twist. And let's come back towards center. And we're going to pivot our back toes forward and floating that right leg back. And let's flow through our chaturanga. So rocking the shoulders forward. Go ahead and lower knees, chest, chin, or straight down into chaturanga. Pushing up into upward dog. And tuck the toes, sending the hips up and back. And we're switching sides. So floating the left foot up towards the sky. Again, pointing the toes or flexing them. Go ahead and drop the heels towards your bottom, knees up towards the sky, and rock forward, placing that foot in between the hands. Pivot the back toes and rising up to warrior one. Again, check out that front knee. Make sure it's not too far forward or too far back. And arms, shoulders are relaxed down, palms facing each other. So take an inhale here. And exhale, open up to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, back to warrior one. Exhale, two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, back to warrior one. Go ahead and straighten that front leg, opening up both of our arms, reaching forward and finding ourselves back into our triangle pose. So you can stay right here, or if you wanted to add that little spinal twist, reaching your hand behind your back and getting a nice little heart opener spinal twist. And again, play around with the position of your hand that's on your left leg. So it can be on your shin, on the floor, on your thigh, whichever feels good. All right, from here, we are going to float our hand that's up towards the sky onto the ground. Pivot our back toes forward. We're going to place our hands firmly on the ground. Send that left leg back into our downward dog. And we're going to walk our feet towards the front of the mat. And at the same time, we're going to lower our hips onto the ground. All right, we have almost made it to the end of our yoga flow. We should be feeling a little warmed up. We should be feeling some energy flowing through our body and ready to start the day. So we're going to start to cool down a little bit. But if you wanted a little bit more heat building up, you can do some boat pose variations. So with this one, you want to be balancing on your sit bones. And you can place your hands right behind you, fingertips pointed towards the front of the mat. You can lean back a bit and then lift your feet up. And you can stay right here, or you can lower everything down, bringing them up. You can tap your toes one at a time. You can even float your arms up and go down. Lots of options. So go ahead and play around with that for a few seconds. Bottom is on the ground, feet are flat on the mat. We're going to take our hands, place them underneath our thighs, and slowly roll down onto our mat. All right, so once we're here, we're going to open our arms out nice and wide, like they're in a T. And we're going to windshield wiper our knees side to side. So drop them to the right, up to center, down to the left. Just go ahead and windshield wiper them, moving side to side. And if they're not already, you can go ahead and close your eyes. All right, so we're going to have our feet flat on the ground, knees pointed up towards the sky. We're going to take our right foot and we're going to place it onto the top or the bottom of our left thigh. We're going to take our arms and reach them through our legs, flexing our left foot and gently pulling our legs in towards our body. You should feel a nice stretch on the back of your right thigh. And you want to make sure that the right knee stays open. Don't bring it in towards the body. Keep it nice and open. And not pulling too tightly. You don't want to hurt yourself in this pose. It's supposed to feel good and offer a nice stretch. So listen to what your body is saying. If it's saying it's too much, then don't pull your legs in so close to your body. All right, and go ahead and release that. And switching sides. So the left foot comes on top of the right thigh, reaching your arms through your legs, holding onto the back of your right thighs, flexing the right foot, and gently pulling everything in towards center. Making sure that that left knee is not coming in towards your body, keeping it tilted open. All right, go ahead and release your legs. We'll extend both legs nice and long on the mat, and we'll release our arms as well. And go ahead and place your hands a few inches, about a foot away from your body, palms faced up towards the sky. Your feet can be a little bit apart, let the toes float open to each side. Closing your eyes. Just doing a quick body scan and noticing if you're tensing up in any area. Are you tensing up in your shoulders? Maybe in your hips or your legs? And if you are, focus your attention on that tense area and try to just relax. Let your body lay heavy on the ground, knowing that the ground is there to support you. Connecting back to your breath. Taking a big inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And now's a great time to set any intention for the rest of the day or even for the rest of the week, or to repeat some affirmations that you need to remind yourself of. Intentions could be anything that you need. Like to remain calm in situations that are stressful, to be kind to everyone that you encounter. Or maybe it's just to drink more water, or to be more present with your family and friends. Your intention is whatever you need in this moment. So take one more deep breath here. Thank you for joining me in today's practice. I hope you feel energized and warmed up and ready to tackle the day with joy and peace and intention. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and see you soon.